Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome to my channel. Today we're planning the month of June in my Caress Press dated inserts, and I'm using a Caress Press kit for June called Mojito. Really pretty and light and summery. I just have the functional checklist sidebar that you can choose to have because I do like to have a checklist throughout the month. Then I have the deco page and just the usual format. So let's just get straight into do it. I'm going to try and do this while it's still in the planner. This is a Print Pression SPC edit, although this is in a color they won't be releasing. It is a sample that Andre gave me for Christmas, but I love it nonetheless, and it's been really nice to try out this planner, and I actually really do enjoy it. I thought maybe it'd be a bit too tall on either side because it is taller than an Oristel Cloud. I could show you actually. This could be a little bit, well, June, the monthlies are a little bit boring. So I'll just show you in comparison. So this is actually lined up on the bottom. I don't know if you could tell that it's a little bit taller than a Cloud, but it lays perfectly flat. You just have this, so there's no flap in the way. You have all these beautiful pockets to decorate, which I love. So I've been really enjoying using it, trying it out. I have a bunch of them now, so I'll probably be sticking with that. But at the moment, this one is my sort of spring-summer planner, because I do have it set up for my navy Cloud. So I think it's going to get stored in that, but that will be the end of the year. So I'm just going to put the main stickers down. Beautiful. I love that. I love it when the first or the number is not in this row, because then you just get the perfect full top there, the full top scene. So I'll put this side on. I'm using glossy stickers, which is why I decided to white it out. Alright, so I like to do, for my headers, I like to match them to the hearts, because the hearts are the different colors. So we have to do, and then we have work. And then we have this month. And then we have important. Oh my gosh, so if you've been watching my monthlies, you know, like most of the months I've been putting like, do the Australian passport renewal every month. And I've just been putting it off because it's like I have to, the website's like you have to go in and meet the specific person. We don't have an embassy here in Finland. It's in Sweden, so they just have one person who works in Finland doing that. And on the website, like the Swedish embassy, the Finnish site, the Australian site, all says you have to book an appointment with the specific person. You have to email them to get the application through on paper. We got the photos done and printed, and I've got the forms all filled out. And so I emailed this person on Friday, the 26th of May, and I got an auto response with a link that I can just do it online. I can do it digitally. And there's literally nowhere on the, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed stop recording instead of manual focus. I'm still learning this new camera, but like literally nowhere on the websites does it say I can do it digitally, but I can. So now I have the link. The link isn't anywhere on the websites, so I had to get it from the email. But I can finally do our Australian passport renewal digitally. So that whole saga of it being in my monthly planner is now over. Such a pain in the butt. And then I can do our British passport renewals online too. And yeah, so all I have to do actually now is to make an appointment with the police here, because we're going to get our local ID's done, and you have to go in person to prove your identity to the police. They have like a police ID. It's like having a proof of age card or a driver's license without the driver's license. It just proves who you are. So in a little card. It's great for picking up mail and also for buying alcohol. So we're gonna get that done. That's the only thing we have to do in person now. So thanks. It's just typical Australian government stuff that they don't just tell you this stuff on their websites. It's a whole thing. Anyway. So the first, I have nothing for the first. The second, first of all, is that my mum arrives in the country. She is visiting for 2 weeks. So we'll put mum arrives. And then we might as well, yeah, we'll do it day by day. Okay. And then also this day, the show Manifest, the second half of the last season ever, comes out on Netflix this day. 4B or whatever. Whatever they call 2-part seasons. Which honestly, not a huge fan of, but you know. Although it kind of works because Netflix has the binge model, which I don't care for anymore. I never remember shows anymore if they're binge. I much prefer the weekly release again, which I feel like everyone but Netflix does now. So we got a little TV in here. We got this little TV, but we have a lot of TV. So we might just spread out these little icons for each TV show because a lot of stuff is coming out this month. And then for Mum coming, I'm just gonna put a little bit of deco, put a little lime wedge, and I'll fill those out. Alright, and she wants to plan everything that we're gonna do together when she arrives, so all those plans are up in the air for now. But that is okay. The next thing we have, I guess on the first, I can put in that rent. Technically rent is due on the 2nd and I've already paid the rent, but I might as well put in rent because I do like to see when those bills are due, even though I pay all of them ahead of time because ain't no way I'm missing a bill. No, I can't live that life. Alright, so then the 8th, Always Sunny comes back. I don't know how it's gonna work. Always Sunny goes to Disney Plus in Finland because we get Hulu FX stuff. And annoyingly, they often don't release it week to week. Sometimes they do, but Abbott Elementary was not week to week. They did 2 half dumps. So we only just got the second half of Abbott Elementary like this last week. So you have to avoid spoilers at all costs. We'll see what Always Sunny is. But Always Sunny is like one of my all-time favorite shows. If you like shows about terrible people, like I guess Succession is about terrible people, right? We can't watch that because Locke can't deal with it. They actually. Yeah. So, although we usually like shows with terrible people, like Arrested Development, if you like those 2 shows, you probably like Always Sunny. Except this is about terrible poor people, not terrible rich people. Anyway, the gang always gets their comeuppance, and it's great. It's just so redonk. But yeah. So, technically the 9th, the movie Asteroid City by Wes Anderson comes out. But I think I'm going to put it in just so I know it came out. But I don't think I'm going to go see it at the cinema. Not this one. Because we've got plenty of other stuff coming out, especially in July. Because I plan to see both Barbie and Oppenheimer at the cinema. Because, well, you got to go see Barbie, right? But Oppenheimer looks fun, you know. Hopefully we'll be able to hear the dialogue in it. Ooh. I'm just dunking on Nolan there, but that's okay. I assume all of you saw the new trailer for Barbie, the final trailer. Looks so good. It makes me think of like the 90s Addams Family or Brady Bunch. Both perfect lots of films. I love that 90s feel of it. And I love how it's clearly about how girls play with Barbies and how we come into adolescence. And you know how you like the whole line of like putting down childish things as you get older and you stop being your like wacky, crazy, silly self as a young girl. Because of the way of the world is that we gotta like mature and grow up as girls, but I think it will be interesting to see how it's like you don't have to be. You can be Barbie, you know? So that'd be nice. It's probably going to be kind of nostalgic in that way. So Astro City comes out. I just want to know that the movie's out, depending. Might feel like seeing it. I don't know. I do love Wes Anderson films, so... And I really loved his last one, The French Dispatch. That's probably one of my favorites now. Then I got nothing until the 16th. Let me check. No, I don't think we have holidays later in the month. The 16th is when my mom leaves. So, let me use a nice pattern box again. Use this one. That's when my mom goes. I put the 16th, yeah. That's her like last day here. And we'll put, I don't know, this pot plant. This is a lot bigger, but I don't think, I had nothing else to put on this day, so we can fit the pot plant in. Alright, so mom leaves. And then the next thing we have is another TV show. And this starts on the 18th. It is Righteous Gemstones. I've just been doing little things, so I guess I will continue that. Although it's a bit long. I'll just put gemstones. Yeah, another thing. It's another comedy show about terrible people. So again, I highly recommend Righteous Gemstones. It's about an evangelical, one of those super churches, those kind of families. And they're all just terrible people, honestly. It's a very southern thing, I think, with those mega churches, families and whatnot. But it's a Danny McBride show. It's just, it's so good. I know that Domi from Bonjour Domi loves this show too. So shout out to you, Domi, if you watch this. I'm sure she's excited for it too. Been waiting so long. What I'm going to use for Righteous Gemstones. It'd be really funny if there was a church on here. Obviously, no offense. If you're a Christian or go to a mega church, it's all good. It's just a silly show, Gemstones. I can see how that'd be like a really good community kind of church because they're so big. You can find so many people that you can make friends with, which seems like the best thing about churches, honestly, is community. Then 19, I'm actually going to put, this might be crazy, I'm going to put that it's my week off. So I'm very purposely and unguiltily going to not do any work this week. Because, I would have just been entertaining my mum for 2 weeks and also getting work done because I have a few things that I want to do. I've also started the ball rolling. If you watch my Monday plan with me, I got a ball rolling on some hard email, professional emails. So that could be happening this month. Who knows? I could be waiting longer. I don't know. It might not be happening at all. We'll see. But I think I'll deserve a week off because this weekend is midsummer. So that and the fact that Locke is probably going to take this week off too. I also know that this is Juneteenth, National Independence Day. So to those who celebrate that, which should be all Americans, honestly, but I know that's important to have in there. Obviously, it's not a holiday here, but I do acknowledge that holiday. And then on the 21st, the summer begins, which is nice, which is ironic because the 24th is midsummer, or Johannes here. Yeah, so we get Friday off anyway, and then you have Midsummer. It's a big holiday. So we're just going to take the whole week off. But then on the 22nd, we don't have a PlayStation 5, but the new Final Fantasy game comes out. I love Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 16, I believe. It looks good. So I do want to play that. I honestly love 15th with the boy band on a road trip. And my favorite guy was I've discovered a new recipe guy. He was the best. So I love that. Okay, I think here we're going to put in our holidays. We have Midsummer Eve. And then we have Midsummer itself. So these are like the longest days of the year. And already it's the 27th of May. And sunrise is at 4 a.m. and sunset is almost 11 p.m. So we already got the long days here, but it's gonna be its peak at this time. Oh no. Sometimes the deco is a little tricky. I feel like cutting machines struggle with deco a lot. It's so typical, isn't it? And I don't feel like I can fit. I feel like I want to use the hat, but I don't think it'll fit in this section here. And still be able to put Midsummer. But yeah, but we don't have a PlayStation 5, but we plan to get one solely to play this Final Fantasy and also the second half of Final Fantasy VII Remake because I need it. Hello. And it's going to be PlayStation 5 only, which is redonk, but only now have you been actually able to buy one here, so they've been so hard to get, but eventually we'll work on it. It needs more games before I really want to buy one, but oh well. I actually, because Plan With Me Stickers has been offering custom, she's been doing custom text where you can choose all 30 different texts on the sheet. So I actually got a sheet that had some shows, some books. It also had Finnish holidays on it. It was a whole mixed bag sheet, which you'll see in sticker haul coming soon. Because I just requested that box. But I got Midsummer Eve on that sheet. So I'm excited to have a beautiful text sticker in my my weekly spreads for these two. That'll be really good. Oh, and the 27th. Oh my gosh. Okay. The 27th, first, a book comes out, which I'm interested in reading. I'm going to put green, because I didn't have a lot of green on this side. Yeah. It's called The Archive Undying, and it is a sci-fi book written by, I think she's an Asian author, Asian American, I'm not sure. It was on that list, but I'd already had of Asian authors to check out on Goodreads, but I'd already had this in my planner to read, The Archive Undying, because it is a sci-fi about AI gods, AI cities, and what happens when those AI cities die and those gods die. I know, it sounds interesting, and a good fantasy of seeing AI dying. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I feel like that's coming out at the moment in the planner community, talking about that. But yeah, I'll just say I'm not a fan of AI, of AI art. I feel like AI shouldn't be making creative stuff. It should be making our lives easier by making grocery lists and doing taxes for us, not drawing art, which is what humans should be getting time to do instead. And the AI can do the annoying work, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, so the book comes out, The Archive Undying, and then a game on Switch comes out, Story of Seasons. Is A Wonderful Life. It's a remake of a GameCube. I'm gonna have a look. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a farming game if you're into cozy farming games, but this is actually, it originally was out as Harvest Moon, but they changed it to Story of Seasons because it changed publisher. And A Wonderful Life is from the GameCube originally, I think, and it's really cool because you and the villagers grow all together. You have kids, your kids grow up and they take over the farm. It's a really cool like story progression. A bit more in-depth than their usual farming stuff. But I've always played Story of Seasons / Harvest Moon, like, since I was a child. I started off with PlayStation 1, Back to Nature, one of my all-time favorite games. But I never got to play A Wonderful Life because I never had a GameCube. I only ever had a Nintendo 64 until the Wii came out. So, and that was a second-hand 64. So, yeah, I'm really excited to play this Story of Seasons game because I never got to originally. I had a problem with planning it while it's in the planners that my handwriting goes crazy, but that's okay. Now, yeah, so I'm excited for that. So The Sims is probably gonna cut. I might be taking a break from The Sims for Story of Seasons, to be honest. But yeah. When my new game comes out. So technically we got another movie coming out, and it is Indiana Jones, which it's a bit disappointing to see that it has pretty bad reviews, because I was planning to go see this one in the cinema, because it's probably going to be hot around this time and the cinema has, air conditioning. And I was excited to see, I was hoping it would be a good new Indiana Jones because I grew up loving Indiana Jones. I don't know if they did this anywhere else, but I remember Pizza Hut in the 90s in Australia. They had a whole meal deal for a while where if you got a meal deal of the pizzas and whatnot, you got a videotape of an Indiana Jones film. And that's how I watched all of them. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. The 90s and their free stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I've heard it's not good. So I don't know. I'm sad. Maybe I should just go back and watch the Crystal Skull was good up until the reveal of the Crystal Skull stuff. Then it was like, oh. So I don't know. I could just go back and watch all three of the original films, to be honest. But yeah, I was excited. I have room here to move this hat down in my handwriting, so might as well. I guess it's good I saved this hat for Indiana Jones. But yeah, otherwise I love Indiana Jones, so I don't know. Then the 29th. The 29th is my mum's birthday. I guess we'll be celebrating it early though, when she's here. And we have another show on Netflix, which is The Witcher Season 3, which is so sad that it's Henry's last season. So that's going to be sad. I feel like The Witcher would have done so much better if it was a weekly release versus, what do I want to use for this one? I'll just use, the bow doesn't seem right for The Witcher. We'll use the book because it's technically based on books. And then Mum's birthday, I've only got this one bit of deco of shoes. Apologies to Mum. But they're pretty slides. They're kind of shoes that she would wear, so. But yeah, I feel like The Witch would be so much better watching it weekly rather than a binge because I watched both other seasons literally in 2 days. So I'll probably have to rewatch that at some point. So much Netflix stuff out in June. That's crazy. Especially crazy because I don't have Netflix right now, but I'll probably get a month of it, you know. Oh, I remember now The Witcher's coming out in 2 parts, so the second part is in July. I kind of hate when they do that, to be honest. So we have one more thing for June. I'm gonna say it feels like a busy month, but look at this. I don't know. But the 30th is Matt's birthday, and Matt is Locke's brother. I've run out of deco for Matt. So we'll just use one of these little birthday cake icons for Matt's birthday. I have literally like, I don't even have him befriended online. I don't even have his number, so I don't know why I always put him in my thing. But I think it's just good to remember family birthdays. But it is his birthday. But he lives in Australia, so yes, he is a doctor, like a medical doctor. I think he's emergency or something like that. So watching ER, I was like, does he do things like this? I don't know. I do wonder his opinion on ER. That'd be funny. I don't think I have any room for more. I kind of want to put a deco up here, but then it's going to be, I don't like putting the deco on next to other things. So I don't think I'm going to use any of the pattern boxes. So that's really like the month planned out. I just feel like this looks so empty. But whatever. We'll just leave it. I still think it looks good. It's nice to be able to look over it and be like, okay, what are the main things going on this month? But now we're going to do the sidebar. So I'm just going to do my usual ride through, and then I have to reference my last month. And then I'll talk to you about it, and then we can finish up the video. Alright, I've done an initial filling out of my sidebar here. So my to-dos are just my work and bills stuff. So I gotta do my VAT return for last month, my payment off my insurance, pay off my July rent, put some savings and put some taxes away. I probably have to pay off my big lot of taxes for last year this month. We're going to be working on back to school, pop punk, and then something I'm calling a desert space. It's supposed to be generic. So we're not really doing pop culture anymore because Shopify is terrified of getting sued. So it's actually very difficult to do pop culture. So my idea was to do a generic desert space. So it's another planet, it's deserty, we have interesting looking people, weird structures, like stuff that I make up. But I thought that using the right overlay, like foil overlays, quotes and things, that people can make this desert space set into Star Wars, or my idea for it, June, because June Part 2 comes out in November. So I could just use some overlays of quotes of like fear is a mind killer and like stuff like that. And so it would make the deserty space kit be a June kit. Although you could use Star Wars symbols and quotes to make it into Star Wars, because it'd be like Tatooine instead, right? Instead of Arrakis. So that was my idea, to do like a generic sci-fi desert planet kit. And then you could probably just use it if you like deserty stuff, something different. I don't know if I foresee this selling a lot, but I kind of want it for November, for June, so that's what I'm doing. And then this month is just my videos. I got to do the usual video stuff. I'm going to try and vlog when Mum's here, because we're going to be actually doing stuff in Finland, so I can do sort of a living in Finland vlog. Rather than just a studio being at home vlog. Then I just want to give the police ID, call my dad, clean out the heat conductor in my dryer. The usual. But that is my June. Let me know, are you excited for anything in June, like these movies or TV shows or games? Is your birthday in June? Let me know. A very happy birthday to you ahead of time. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I love you. Bye bye.